Good morning. This Nick bringing the business. Hey, before I get into my morning rant, I don't know if it's going to be a customary thing for me, but before I get into my morning rant, I want to let everybody know to come on the page, YouTube page, where you're a fan bringing the business. Subscribe, like, share. We also have a Facebook page. Uh, Come on there, talk some mess with us. You know, uh, Instagram, TikTok, all the above. Come and check us out on all social media platforms. Hey, what I want to talk about this morning was relationships. Now, obviously, like I'm a thinker, so like when I'm driving, I'm just throughout my day, I'm thinking about certain situations, and it's like a bunch of stuff going on in my head. Anybody who know me know like I just think a lot. I have a lot of different scenarios and different stuff I got going on. But I was thinking about relationships and how important relationships are. Uh, Now I look back over my life and I just look back and I cherish the relationships that I had, you know what I'm saying? I mean like friendships and, relationships with family and stuff like that, not like relationships with like females. I'm talking about just overall relationships. Uh Man, I guess I said again, once I guess I'm old enough to now to kind of reflect on it. And I'm not old, even though you see the grays, but I'm not old, but I'm old enough to reflect on situations and just be like, man, think about people that was in your life, and man, just how much you should cherish those relationships when they're here. I can give you an example of, relationship with somebody who actually still is here, like my dad, right? Like I went through like periods of my life as like a teenager, maybe early 20s. Man, my dad don't talk, my dad this, my dad that, you know what I'm saying? And I look back on it now and I realize like, man, some people just different. You know what I'm saying? Like first of all, some people just different in the way they do things, and you can't really say nothing about somebody based off of how, because you don't know how they grew up or how they upbringing and stuff like that. But the reason why I say I cherish a relationship now is because as I've gotten older, I feel like our relationship has got better. As a teenager, as a young boy, I always appreciated what my dad, did for me as far as like always if I needed anything, he would go out his way, he'd do what he can to make sure that I got it. By us living in different states, what I'm saying? It was that type of relationship. And it was more like, yeah, he was young, and I by young, I want to say he's in his 30s or whatever, uh, 40s and stuff like that, still trying to live his life. So it was like not really having that time to like, be a father, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like taking care of me and making sure that I had stuff, that was always, there. But like now, later on in my life, man, I just like our relationship. We can talk, we can sit on the phone, talk for 30, 40 minutes, you know what I'm saying? After we talk, man, Pops, I love you, man, I love you too. You know what I'm saying? Most of my birthdays recently I've spent with him. I come down there, we'll sit down, we'll go out to eat, we'll have a drink, whatever, just, talk. So man, just cherishing those relationships, you know what I'm saying? Because you never know when, it won't happen again. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think like as people, and it has no knock on who you are or what religion that you believe in, anything like that. I think just in general, we take for granted time. You know what I'm saying? In our heads, and it's like even me, I think everybody takes for granted that we have enough time to fix things. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I ain't talking to her, I ain't talking to him, and you know what I'm saying? It'll come back around, Maybe, maybe it will. But are you really promised tomorrow? Like really? Like think about it though. Are you really promised tomorrow? Like, do you know you're gonna make it home today? Do you know like once you go to sleep you're gonna wake up? Do you know what's gonna happen to you throughout the course of the day where you can just definitively say that I can fix that at a later date? We don't know, which is makes it even more important to cherish the relationships that you have. And I'm not saying that you not gonna get in disagreements with people and arguments and stuff like that, but I also feel like it shouldn't linger on to the point where you're not talking to this person and stuff like that, because your relationship with people, is very important, especially the people that you love, right? Like I look back on, like I give you another example. Now, I used to work with this woman. Her name Rhonda. Her name was Rhonda. So obviously you're gonna know that she passed away early in her life. I think I was like 19, 20. I was working at this company called Exact Time, and man, one of the nicest women that you would ever meet had two. I want to say she had two girls. Man, always made sure she, you know, bought clothes and made sure her girls looked nice, her hair done. She made sure her hair done. She made sure she looked nice. You know what I'm saying? She was just a sweet woman. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because like I was 19, 20. She had to probably been in her late 20s, maybe early 30s or whatever like that. But I want to say definitely late 20s. Rhonda passed away years ago. Uh, Maybe 30 some years old. I don't even think she made it to 40. You know what I'm saying? And I personally, I think I've told her before, like, man, just how nice she was, you know what I'm saying? And, appreciate, like, the time she was, like, real kind to me and, you know what I'm saying, gave me type of advice and stuff like that. But I think, like, those are the relationships that I say, like, man, you never know when a person is going to leave this earth. You know what I'm saying? You never know when God going to call this person home. So man, cherish those relationships. You know what I'm saying? Another relationship that, um, I feel like, I guess when I was a kid, I cherished it, but I guess as later on as in adulthood, I probably did, was my Uncle Charles. Um, I look back on the days that, we had together, you know what I'm saying, as far as like the different lessons that he taught me. Uh, Him coming to wake us up for Christmas early in the morning, you know what I'm saying? I think he showed me what hard work, you know, gets you. You know what I'm saying? Like he always worked, he was a sanitation worker, but he always kept money in his pocket, you know what I'm saying? Every time you needed something, man, if he had it, he'd go give it to you. And that was from hard work, you know what I'm saying? Man, just looking back on those situations, those relationships, those friendships, and family and people that's not family, it's just very important to me. You know what I'm saying? We're not promised tomorrow. And luckily for me, like I say this again, luckily for me, I've been here 40 some years to be able to reflect on things. And my reflection is, man, relationships are important. They're very important, talking to the people that you love, telling them that you love them, you know, and just being in a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes we're not in the moment because, you know, we're focusing on everything. I gotta make this money, I gotta buy this, I gotta save for this, I gotta do this, you know what I'm saying? And I think that we strip ourselves of being in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And with with that, I believe you don't pay attention to how important relationships are in your life. You know, it's just like for me, I just like I said, man, I do a lot of reflecting, I do a lot of thinking. And it's one thing like I think a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy like how much I think about just life in general. Because man, we could be on this earth for 90, 100 years and it goes like that. It's quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my 40s and I swear to you, like, it feel like maybe 6 years ago I was in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? That's how fast it goes. You know what I'm saying? When life is going, man, it's going and it's nonstop. You know what I'm saying? Before you know it, you like, man, I was just 30. Yeah, you 44 now. You know what I'm saying? about to be 45. You know, so the reason why I wanted to talk about relationships because there's many relationships in my life that I look back on and I appreciate those people being in my life. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. I appreciate the time spent with my younger brother. I appreciate, my sister, and how loyal she is to me. I appreciate my older sister in Alabama. I appreciate just how much she loved me. My sisters in Atlanta, originally from Alabama. My stepsisters, Dion and Shay. I appreciate them. How much they've always showed me love, treated me as their own. My older brother, Damalo. I appreciate the relationship that we have because he's always took me under his wing. You know what I'm saying? And man, it's just appreciative of it because, like, you hear so many situations where they like, man, they ain't my brother, they ain't, you know what I'm saying? But I've never got treated like that from them from day one. So it's like you appreciate stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And want to let all of them know that, from just my siblings, Of course, I appreciate my pops. I spoke about that, but I appreciate I call her mom. Obviously she's my ex stepmom because her and my dad isn't together anymore. But I still call her mom because that's she's always treated me like a son. I appreciate my grandma. You know, Gave her a lot of hard times as a teenager. As a child. Because she took us in when I was 11. I think my brother was like 5 or 6. Um, we gave her a lot of hard times, as kids. But I feel like, man, she did everything that she could to make sure that our head stayed on straight in the midst of everything that was going on around us. And I appreciate her, for doing that because without her and a lot of people in my life, I don't know where I would be today, So thank God for that. I really do. I thank God for that because you just never know where you'll be without the people, around you just trying to help cultivate you into the person that you are, you know, at this point in your life. So man, like I appreciate those people, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, my uncle, my Uncle Charles, my Auntie Rose, who was just like overly cautious of me ever since I was a baby, you know what I'm saying? Don't lift no heavy weights. You had the hernia. I'm like, Auntie, that was like 60 years ago. Like I'm good. Like you know what I'm saying? I can lift weights, But I just look at it like it was funny to me at the time, but it just showed how much she loved me. It showed how much she wanted, to make sure that I was okay. You know what I'm saying? And knew like it was certain things about me that she just didn't want to like come back. So it was just like, yeah, as a teenager, you like, man, she's tripping. Man. I'm about to go lift these weights. You know what I'm saying? But looking back on it now, it really wasn't about that. It was just that it was showing the care. And if she had anything that she would, that she could do for me, like the many times she could cook for me, and, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I said, man, you look back on these different times in your life, and you wish you would have cherished them just a little bit more, Like you so in the moment that, you like, yeah, that was cool, that was funny, that was, he did this, she did that, you know what I'm saying? But when you look back on it, man, you be like, man, I wish I would have, cherished them moments a little bit more because some of them people not even here no more. Sadly to say, some of them people not here. So it really makes you want to like, man, I wish I'd have hugged them more. Wish I'd have told them I love them more. Uh, Man, a special relationship that I've had to this day is, with my god brother. My god brother BC, who, do the podcast with me, man. We grew up together. Kind of fell out of touch a little bit, you know what I'm saying? during the days that he kind of like went away to college, and then he started to kind of come into his own. He started to get older and doing stuff in our own lives. We kind of lost touch a little bit, and through just constantly, contacting each other here and there, and then I admit through football, the sport that me and him both love, we reconnected. You know what I'm saying? And then from that point on, like we just been, been around each other, talk to each other, text each other, if not every day, every other day, you know what I'm saying? If it's about sports, if it's about kids, if it's about relationships, if it's about just real life situations, uh, one of those relationships that, man, like is very important to me, you know what I'm saying? Because that's somebody that I've been knowing since I've been pretty much on this earth, you know what I'm saying? So like those relationships, man, just mean a lot, and I hope that people start to realize that how important it is to make sure that you letting the people know that's in your life that you love them, uh, not take for granted of time, not letting anger and attitudes and stuff like that derail what you have in certain people, because man, this it's not promised. Like I keep telling people that, you wake up in the morning, you feel like, man, this is what's supposed to happen. A lot of people thought that too, and they didn't wake up this morning. A lot of people thought that, and they didn't make it through the day. You know what I'm saying? So stop taking for granted the time that God has given you. Start loving on the people that God has put in your life, because it's not promised. Um, and man, that's it. Once again, it's my morning thought. Let's bring in the business.